Welcome to Christian Statesman. I'm your host, Zach Wagner, and this is episode 119, Obsolete Paradigms. I have a friend and colleague that teaches at a nearby medical school. He's a practicing family physician with all of the desired credentials, Duke, Harvard, a number of postgraduate fellowships, a history of practice and journal articles that would make any of his fellow doctors envious. His practice is the most prominent in the region, and he has prospered financially and will have a most comfortable retirement in a few years. Yet, I am aware of ongoing research and technological breakthroughs that could, in one fell swoop, make the majority of his medical work obsolete overnight. I wonder how he might react to such innovation. Would his reaction be typical of so many whose power and livelihood would be threatened by game-changing breakthroughs? This has been the typical response over the last many decades. If a new idea is not exclusively owned and beneficial to the elite, it is either squashed or bought out and either shelved or used in a manner they dictate. Tesla's groundbreaking work around the turn of the century involving unlimited interdimensional energy is a prime example of this sort of meddling. It is a fair postulate to state that our society could be even far more advanced than it is now should many of these technological innovations of the last century been allowed to proliferate and prosper. Perhaps my accomplished colleague would have the mind and heart to rejoice that such miraculous gifts could be manifest in the lives of his fellow beings, even if it meant many of his professional ilk would be out of a job, or at least sent back to school for additional training and education. Such is the beauty and the bane of innovation. Anything that improves our lives likely threatens the status quo somewhere in the established system. It is a race to see who gets on top first. The entrenched overlords of all that is, or the maverick innovator determined to change the world. But the fact is, there is incredible technology waiting on the horizon in medicine, travel, energy, and many other fields. The medical technology of which I speak is currently under development by our military. It remains to be seen if it enters the realm of public consumption, but it does exist. I have personally spoken to those involved in some of the research and testing of this technology. As one friend and colleague involved in associated classified projects confirmed, we received this technology from extraterrestrial sources. We are working to tune it to our own physiologies, but I am not sure the world is ready for this quite yet. I get the impression, just from a long history of interaction, that my physician friend would be in the camp of opposition to anything that would upset the status quo for him and his medical compadres. This is most unfortunate, but not unexpected. It results from years of comfortable acquiescence to a system that feeds conformity well with its inherent rewards. Of course, this is the same friend who preaches the jab to everyone, stating, without any scientific evidence currently available, that such shots are, quote, safe and effective, unquote. If I try and point out any of the negatives other credentialed colleagues of his are publishing, at great risk to their professional credentials and careers, I might add, he just rolls his eyes and walks away. I can't listen to this crap, he once barked at me. So full of certainty and knowledge he is. It is not some keyboard warrior in mommy's basement offering such contrary viewpoints, but his equally well-credentialed colleagues. How his own career and experience can work against him if he rests on his laurels and shuns renewed critical thought. And we have here an important principle. The world changes around us and ever more rapidly with the passing of time. Innovation is rarely linear. It is almost always exponential. Can we keep up? Perhaps the most critical weak link in the chain of changing innovation is not the new technology itself, but the mindset of those exploring the technology and the power structures surrounding those who could proliferate and use the technology. In this we are our own worst enemy. Christ reminded us that, quote, I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly, unquote. This applies in all of our endeavors, including technological innovation. For nothing comes into our realm of being and usage that was not first conceived in the mind of God himself. It is simply up to us to tap into the reservoirs of truth he awaits so eagerly to share with us. regardless of the field and application of it. When God seeks to bless us with new ideas and new technologies that will improve our status here on earth, what shall we do with it? I fear, like my friend, who considers himself a good Christian man, we might sneer and resist such things simply because they threaten our own established paradigms and associated gravy train. Such is the conundrum that causes the heavens to weep and the angelic throngs to plead for redress over our own stubbornness. How hard it must be for a loving Father who seeks to bless us with all his kingdom holds, to watch us flounder at the simplest of his gifted innovations. It must be a sight indeed. Thank you for listening today. Please subscribe, and as always, have a blessed day.